All right, so this is Rhino tutorial number 3. In class today, we went over a new set of tools or a new command about making 2D. So it's basically taking our 3D object and turning it into a line drawing. In this line drawing, it has the boundary base. You see that it has the angled control that we discussed on class or on Friday in our visual studies class. And this is using an isometric view. And so, yeah, it automatically generates two different types of lines for us. It's hidden lines, which is like our X-ray vision, seeing beyond. Right now I have it as white, but it could be orange, for example. Um, and I have my boundary box in here, and we can see all the major forms that create our models. So let's just dive into that. So you can start on your perspective screen. So just to make sure that my screen looks like your screen, I'm going to change my view to perspective, and then I will double click in. All right, so you should have your models in your perspective view. If you're really far zoomed away, just like I went over in the last couple videos, you can just click an object, press Z for zoom, S for selection, and it will take you here. If you can't find your model at all, you can do select last, and it'll select the last object, and you can then do zoom selection, and it'll at least bring you into the right range. All right, so now let's make this 2D. There are some steps that we need to follow before we turn this into a 2D drawing. This way it is measurable and accurate in our parallel, isometric view. So first thing I'm going to do is click the tiny little arrow next to perspective in the top left corner of the viewport. And then I'm going to change set view to an isometric. And in this case, I will do a southeast. All right, so I'm looking at the southeast corner of this one model, and this is the corner that I am going to use for my drawing. So you can see that these are pretty distinct long angles here. I'm going to select my 3 objects, 1, 2, 3, and I also want to make sure that I select that 4x4 boundary box. All right, once I have everything selected, I'm going to type in the command MAKE2D. Again, I do not need to click the command bar for this. And this little window pops up. I want to maintain the output layers. I want to see hidden lines, and I would like to group my outputs. All right, so layer name MAKE2D and press OK. All right, so then I'm going to change to the top view. So you can do this by pressing Control Tab on a Windows computer, or you could double tap in the parallel, on the tab on the left corner of the viewport, and then I could go to my top view. So you see they just generated the drawing and they put it in a random spot near the origin, but what I'm going to do is before I click anything else, while it still has the line selected, I'm going to use my gumball tool. If your gumball tool is not on, you just type in gumball and you can choose if it's on or off. If you press O, it'll turn on. If you press F, it'll turn off. Mine is currently on, so I don't need to do anything. All right, so now I'm just going to zoom, select it again. So Z enter, S enter, and this is my drawing.